Hello, this episode is about cryptids and whether they could exist or not. We have 17 monsters to cover, but before we get into this, we have to lay some guidelines of what we're covering. First, we're not going to talk about cryptids that are the same as another. For example, Bigfoot. There's many different versions of them, but we're going to bundle them together, alright? So we might skip over a few because they're the same as others, alright? We're also going to be only covering cryptids that have a real historical or folklore background. This means we're not talking about creepy pastas, okay? No Slenderman and no Rake. Someone's really pissy about this. And lastly, we'll cover more in the future, so if we don't hit your favorite cryptid this time, we'll cover it some other time, okay? So, without further ado, let me introduce our guest for tonight. I have in the studio here today with me is Crimes.
Yo, 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 what's up?
And for the first time on the show, we have Rhymes online.
Good evening, mortals.
Alright. And then we have, Chimes. How did I forget his name, unfortunately?
How do you forget your own?
My own.
Yeah, how do you forget my name?
Sorry.
What's wrong with you?
Sorry,
What's wrong with you?
Look, so I have a script ready, and so I didn't include you on the script because I didn't know if you were going to actually be joining us or not.
You know what? You know what? I'm terminating the contract. Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
the contract. It's too late. Sorry.
No. I'm just.
Right I got it laminated and everything. Okay.
I'm walking out.
It's hanging
I'm done.
in the room. All right.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna
right.
secretly burn.
Since we do have 17 monsters I would like to talk about today, let's get right into it. How do we start off a cryptids episode without talking about the most iconic cryptid ever? Bigfoot. I will go first on saying I think there's a possibility of existence in this, okay? Alright. What about you, Rhymes?
Well, I personally have no experience with the Sam Squash. However, I have heard many stories, many documentaries, many experiences that other people that I know personally have had. So, I guess I should mention that I've seen a documentary about I think it was around the 90s. There were three or so people murdered in a cannabis plantation by the Sam Squash.
Yeah, I know. I know the documentary you're talking about. I watched it on Netflix as well. That's actually a really interesting one.
So there's that.
Before we get on to others' explanation or thinking of if it's real or not, how about we explain what Bigfoot is? There has been sightings from anywhere 5 to 10 foot tall of a large, hairy, humanoid creature in the woods of North America and other countries and continents all around the world. Now, I think one fun fact I want to bring up about this is that with scientific research of Bigfoot, which you can't even consider science because it's called pseudoscience, cryptozoology, which is a pseudoscience, not real science, everybody. But from their estimates, there could be about 6,000 Bigfoot living in America, North America at least. And I did the math on how many square miles of forest do they have to themselves. If there is 6,000 Bigfoots in America, there is 213 square miles for every Bigfoot there is of forest land. So there's a lot of land for them to actually roam. So some people think that America's too populated to have a creature that lives in secret when one of them can have their own 213 square miles.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Hey, how about you, Chimes? Do you have an opinion on whether these creatures could exist?
I think it's a possibility.
That's a possibility right there. How
I
about
mean,
you,
you never
Grant?
know.
Honestly, I think when I was very little, I might have seen evidence because when I was very little, I had very like paranormal experiences, but I feel like I had some experience, but I'm just not sure. So yes, I do believe that there is Bigfoot out there.
We have a full believer here in the house, everybody. All right, but like I said, I want to go into the reason why I think Bigfoot could exist, and I already explained my first reason is I think that there is plenty of forest land to keep a hidden creature in America, North America at the largest. Now, I go camping at a location which has been reported to have Sam Squatches sighted there. I don't believe that. And at the very least, they're migratory. And yes, the people that say they've seen them and the people I know who also do this kind of talking, um, they say they believe it's migratory as well. So I think there's a possibility that it just with all the land there is that Sam Squatch exists. Do you guys have any reasonings behind your like whether you think they exist or besides Deja's possible experience?
Well, I for one like to think that, like, apart from America, could there be any other sightings like around the world, possibly in other foreign countries?
There is
Maybe there are like Russian Yetis.
yeah, okay, so I explained earlier in the episode that we're combining creatures or cryptids that are the similar like types. Bigfoot. This includes the Yowie, the Yeti, the Orang-Pangdex, the Skunk Ape of Florida, the Grassman of Ohio, the um, what else there is? I know there's tons of names that's given here in America. The pine tree eyes of Maine. Um,
Sure,
there's so many
but
things. I've just combined them just to Bigfoot, but the thing is, they all have a similar thing about them. So I believe they're really one of the same, or if not related in a genealogical way. You know, and so that's why I also believe Bigfoots exist is because there's evidence of them across the world and historical evidence that the natives say they've seen them or there's sightings that date before the more recent Bigfoot sightings.
hmm,
um the thing is, I'm such a Bigfoot researcher myself. I never really mentioned this, but I do have a Bigfoot print cast in my room.
really,
Yeah, I do. Um, I used to go to Bigfoot conventions a lot when I was younger, and I won this Bigfoot cast that was actually I know the place that it was casted in, and it's not that far away from us. And it was
You
pretty
had this.
pretty amazing in my opinion. But
You had the.
uh, I think Bigfoots have a high probability of existence.
it's a
I was gonna
possibility.
say you've had that in your room this whole time, and I've known you for how long now?
You've known me for a while, and you did not know that I have a Bigfoot print cast. I bet Deja didn't even notice until now that I pointed it back out to her.
I've known you had it for years.
Where is it?
It's on my bookshelf. I
I
never
bet
talk
none of
about
you.
it, but I do.
I'd say it's about a foot long, maybe 13 inches.
It's a 13-incher, I think. It's big. It's huge. Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal. And I've looked at the thing, and you can see a lot of characteristics of really just anatomy. You can see each individual toe. It's amazing. It's one of the finest prints I've ever seen.
So
Dude,
how do they like get the print? Do they like like how the cops
They cast
what
it.
is it?
They use
Basically,
Yeah,
plaster.
yeah.
they find the footprint out in the woods,
Yeah, I
and
was
then
gonna
they
say.
plast it, and then use
Plaster.
concrete in the plaster.
I just use plaster. I used to have some plaster so I could cast prints if I ever found them, but I never go Bigfoot hunting anymore. Soon to be a episode, am I right, guys? We're going Bigfoot hunting, right?
Woo!
I
All right.
I
Yeah. All right,
I
everybody. I think we covered Bigfoot.
Yep.
Now, let's get into something more mythical, something more out there. The Skinwalker, a shapeshifter that comes from Native American lore, is what I have written down for it. So,
this is a good one.
it is a great one.
Mhm.
And honestly, if any of the really out there creatures exist, it's going to be the Skinwalker for
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I think if you have to say what creature do I believe exists, and it has to be something super natural that's not Bigfoot, which it could be very biologically explained. Skinwalker, that's my this thing's I don't know what it is kind of creature.
Mhm.
And
I believe. Oh, sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
go ahead. I just said and and then I have something else to go with.
I believe it may be possible that the skinwalkers could be otherworldly,
Yeah.
since since if anyone is familiar with the infamous Skinwalker Ranch,
Yes.
anybody anybody would know that uh, UFOs are kind of revolve around the whole. I
They're
don't know
commonly
what you.
sighted there.
Yes,
Yeah. It's a very interesting thing to put that together is that UFOs go back one up to our last thing. UFOs and Bigfoots are commonly sighted together, which I also think is interesting. So skinwalkers, UFOs are also a common occurrence to happen together. And there's so much you could probably cover about the skinwalker because there's such a weird creature. It's something, well, it's all to its own. I could totally make a episode dedicated to the Skinwalker, but let's leave it at this. Logically speaking, I don't believe a Skinwalker could exist. Just me being a believer, I think a Skinwalker does exist because I hear too many sightings. I hear too many, you know, not Native American lores and stuff about it. I have a belief to it, you know.
sure.
So that's why, if like I said, it's the one I would believe that could exist. But logically speaking, everyone, say it with me now. It probably doesn't exist.
Probably some big damn coyote.
Yeah.
I don't
What?
know.
You can't say
Uh,
that doesn't exist. Logically speaking,
it's a
I
figment
mean,
of your imagination, man.
Honestly, I don't know.
you don't know logically.
Logically, I do not know.
Huh.
Because I have seen some freaky shit in the woods.
So we try to say that we live near a skinwalker.
Hey, they can be found anywhere.
They can. You know, one thing which we're about to get into another creature real quick, which I do, and I have talked about this creature before on the podcast, but I want to revisit the story about it. So like we said, Skinwalker has a large Native American lore that we all think is a really amazing thing. And, well, most of us kind of have a belief in it. I mean, I really didn't hear Chimes over there. Chimes, chime in.
Uh,
Do you not have a thought about what the Skinwalker?
I don't think it's real.
You don't think
was
it's
it
real?
was it the Skinwalker like some sort of curse that
They
the
are actually what I remember is they're a shaman of the Native
ah
Americans that
Me, I mean,
I've
even
heard
it could even be you, Joey. How do we know?
I
Joey could
am
be
a
the
skinwalker.
Skinwalker. Joey
It
is
could
the
be any of
Skinwalker.
us. If anything, I'm not gonna lie to you. If anything, if I am some kind of creature and I just don't know it, it's a werewolf.
Mm.
All right. Don't ask me why. And no, I don't go barking at people, and I never have.
Rough, rough.
Joey is
Shut
Team
up.
Edward.
No. All right. Okay. But that's a later subject. We'll get into it. We're going on to our next beast here, the Wendigo.
mm.
My favorite creature besides Bigfoot, because I've already talked about it, and one of my favorite stories to ever tell to people was a sighting or so-called like experience with a Wendigo or Skinwalker in the local national park that's not too far away from us here in Northeast Ohio. And so I kind of freak out when I'm like, shoot, did they really just have that experience here? And I literally, when I have time, go drive in that area to go to school. Like, I go to school in that area. That's kind of creepy, right?
Wait,
So
where
Kind
I
is
think
it?
about it
of.
every time I'm leaving school and it's nighttime, and the school is basically in the woods too. So I'm leaving the school and my car's parked all the way by the woods, furthest away from the building, and I'm like, I don't want to get too close to the woods. What if a Wendigo pops out or something? Like, what if
What if
this?
both
What if this
pops out?
happens? I think about
Yeah,
it.
what if they tag team on you?
What if they tag team me, Wendigos and Skinwalkers?
Yeah, exactly.
What is the
You don't have your
origin
truck anymore.
behind? What is the origin behind Wendigos
Now,
exactly?
Wendigos, the like story on how they exist. There's two. My favorite way to explain them. Let's. How about we explain what a Wendigo is to people? A Wendigo is a scary man-eating beast that is tall, thin, with tremendous speed and strength. They're just basically an unstoppable force that have an undesirable taste for meat. Now, my favorite explanation for how Wendigos exist is that Wendigos are actually at first demons that curse or follow people around, begging them to try the taste of human flesh. And when the people cave in and eat human flesh, the demon will take over the human body and make them suffer a endless life of consuming humans and having an unsatiable and never-ending hunger.
That's terrifying.
Yes, that's my favorite theory to say that's how they exist. You know, so well, pointing out again, I don't think Wendigos exist. I've already said Skinwalkers are my unbelievable, probably existing creature. So that's why. But I think that it's still a really cool creature. It does have a little bit of Native American background. Um, I think we also cursed ourselves because we literally talked about the Skinwalker and didn't. I think that it was a big mistake. Actually, now think about it. You don't do that, and I realized a big no no there. Um,
Those Native Americans have conjured up some evil crap, man.
they
I mean,
have.
I don't want to mess with the
I don't want to mess with
Native
the Wendigos
Americans.
either.
We have screwed them. I mean, not us personally, but they've been screwed over
So
so
much.
so badly.
I wouldn't
I
doubt it if they did stuff like that.
yeah. Some
Kronk, what do you
tribes
think
maybe.
about Wendigos?
Honestly,
don't have anything about them?
No, because I mean, I can come up with logical explanations for some of the stuff, but for most of it, I can't come up with anything.
Yeah, that's one thing about this. That's one of the things is like I can't come up with a logical explanation besides using demons as a reason for
Yeah.
them existing. So that's what makes me throw them out of the window. And
There is the one thing for Americans, literally, you are legally allowed to try and eat human flesh. You have to sign a contract stating that you did it, but from my one friend who has actually tried it, he has said that it tastes like pork and he will never eat pork again until he has the human.
nah, I think he's gonna turn into a Wendigo.
Yeah.
Or cannibal.
That's what I'm
Definitely,
thinking,
definitely.
man.
So I would say leave that friend. They're gonna be turning
Yeah.
into a Wendigo.
Yeah, I already
Separate
did.
themselves. Separate themselves. Say, hey, go live in a cabin in the woods, maybe, um, and far away from humanity.
Yeah.
Wendigo in a city near you.
Oh no, they live in a
Coming
city near
soon.
you guys.
Wendigo in the city near you. Have fun.
You know that actually brings me to another story about a Wendigo, but this is pre. What? This is pre them becoming a beast. It's them as the demon form. As one person said they have spotted a Wendigo while they're working at a theater in the back. They're in the backstage when they spotted this creature that looked like a Wendigo. And they assumed that it was the demon form of them. And so I'm like, dang. Now, I would like to get into a creature local creature that does not have any lore to anywhere else in the United States, as I can tell. The Frogman. A frog-like creature
This
that
is so.
stands on 2 feet.
Loveland, Ohio.
Loveland, Ohio. What do you... Rhymes, do frogmen exist?
I'm sure that possibly there is one unknown specimen of humanoid reptile that someone may have been at the wrong place at the wrong time and could have come across something of such description.
Possibly. How about you, Chimes? Oh, Chimes is muted. Oh, Chimes is back. What do you think? Do you think that frogmen live here in our state? Because this is where they originate.
I definitely believe it. I definitely believe it.
You think the frogmen exist?
Oh yes, yes.
Now, why is this? I mean, I didn't ask for... Rhymes, why do you think frogmen exist besides that, like, you think it's possible? Do you...
I mean, after watching E.T., it's possible that aliens could have been marooned on our planet in some messed up, morbid ways. So perhaps this wasn't a frogman. Well, perhaps at the time that's the best thing it could be described as. But
Huh.
who
I like
knows?
that explanation. I like that.
I mean, what about like I know this is like off topic, but like Star Trek or like Star Wars?
Yeah, like, what if it was something otherworldly?
Jabba the Hutt,
Jabba the Hutt. What if it was Jabba the Hutt they see in?
Jabba the Hutt finally.
even though he's not a frog.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a frog or something in Star Wars? I can't remember.
There was like a frog-like creature in Star Wars. I remember because they
Some
used it as
movie.
a 3D gag.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like Frogman. I don't believe Frogman exist.
Yeah,
The frog man is out there.
I really don't believe
the
it.
Loveland Frogman.
I don't.
Yeah, it's
Until I go to Loveland and I see Frogman, I will not believe that a Frogman exists.
Yeah,
Am I hearing road trip?
you're always hearing road trip, and I would like to.
Do you think?
If I'm not.
I'm sticking with my theory that it's a marooned alien.
maybe.
Honestly, that's what I think of all
I'm,
cryptids. They're just some form of alien or.
do you think it'd be
Ooh.
like it just if it would try to appear scary, like it would like appear to be threatening, but it really isn't.
Yeah.
It just kind of stands there, just kind of looks at you, stares, and that's it.
Ah, okay. Just cut that out. All right. Look, we've talked about the Frogman. Now we're talking about another man, the Dog Man.
The
First,
dog man.
the Dog Man. It's a large dog that stands on 2 feet. They're tall and they're fast. Commonly mistaken as Bigfoots. Commonly, Bigfoots are mistaken as Dogmen.
Congrats, we've already talked about Bigfoot. Move on.
Werewolves, maybe?
What about my dog?
Your dog is not a Dogman. Dogmen are also known as werewolves. Look at
She
this.
jumps all the time,
Ooh, speaking of
and she's
werewolves,
fast.
I don't know if anyone else has been seeing this, but as of recently, every day since of Saturday, I have been looking up at the moon around like 10 o'clock ish, and it has been like furiously blood red.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
It looks orangish to me. But I would say red.
Well, that's
There's
just
something
what
wrong with
you
you
call
guys?
that color.
No, like, I mean, like, it was like someone like cut open and blood on the moon. It was blood red.
Oh, for me, it was just orange.
I have no clue what is going on.
I don't know either.
Anything.
Um,
I'm scared.
You guys must be seeing things.
she's seeing things. I just see an orange moon.
I've seen it twice now.
I just see an orange moon. Okay.
I haven't even paid attention. Okay.
Alrighty then. We have one person
All
who's
right, all
really
right, all
excited
right.
to talk about our next cryptid, the second most infamous cryptid, the one, the only, Mothman, which is a
Our
large
good friend.
winged creature that's said to bring doom or to be a good omen.
Mothman for president.
Mothman for president. Look,
Ooh.
I love the story of Mothman. I think Mothman is a totally cool creature. Do I think he'd exist? Probably not.
I don't know, man.
Look,
Mothman was a pretty good one.
it's a pretty great creature. I love Mothman stories myself. I don't know. There hasn't been too many recent excitings that I've heard of. That's mostly been back in the day. Maybe he did exist. Maybe he passed away. Maybe it was a once thing.
Maybe he found a lay of a semi truck and got hit and died.
He was never seen again after that bridge collapsed. Which bridge was that? The
Silver Bridge, I believe.
Silver Bridge, West Virginia,
It was
in
a
Ohio.
bridge connecting Ohio and West Virginia, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a thing, Deja. You want to know something about that song? He's not singing about West Virginia. He's singing about Western Virginia.
Why does it say West Virginia?
I don't know, but he's actually talking about Western Virginia. He's talking about real Virginia.
Not West Virginia.
Because he mentions two places, the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Chattanooga River, which are the Shenandoah River, which are only located in regular Virginia.
You ruined my childhood.
This isn't John Denver's doppelganger, is it?
All right.
I mean, could be.
Look, guys, we're talking about Mothman, the big red-eyed guy who's running for president. We should be more excited about this man.
Yes.
I'm
Look, talk to me.
I
Stop
Kenny, I told
messing
you,
with
he-
that.
the last time. So this was like 1967. The last time he was seen was actually it was a photograph where he stood on the bridge, the Silver Bridge, and a little afterwards, it collapses. After that, he was never seen again. But before that, there were multiple sightings of Mothman. Are we all still here?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't even want to explain what just happened over here. Okay.
Maybe
What
I'm just a
happened to
good
you,
narrator.
Joey?
No, don't you?
Did the Mothman get you?
Yes, the
Maybe I'm
Mothman
just
came and got us.
maybe
Okay.
I'm
Maybe
just
it's my dog barking that got him
The
here.
werewolf in me made me bite Joey.
it could be
I'm
just
the werewolf.
my
Yeah, I said.
it's just
Vampire.
You're
my
the vampire.
I
my
really
gravy
don't.
narrator
You
voice.
kind of do.
You cannot tell me I don't.
That's all it is. It's my it's
I
my
think
voice.
it was a once thing that happened back in the day.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I feel like he did exist, but not anymore.
Yeah, that's my if he did exist thing. All right. Now here's one who's pretty famous, but not a lot of people actually talk about this one. How about the Jersey Devil?
Ooh.
Ooh, Jersey Devil. That's one
Okay,
I've
you guys
heard.
know about the Jersey Devil. That's good. I was hoping you guys did, because then I would have to sit there and explain the whole backstory behind the Jersey Devil, a winged horsed beast. Woo.
The
More
actually,
demons.
Funny story about the Jersey Devil. When I went to New Jersey, there is a dedicated lake to him. That
Yeah.
there is actually a statue of the Jersey Devil in the middle of said lake.
I would want to go see that actually.
Yeah, it's in the middle of the woods, so it's even more
That's
amazing.
great. That is great.
And that's where most people have said that he resigns.
Chimes, have you heard of the Jersey Devil before?
I have not.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Some people never
Really
heard about the
are.
Jersey Devil. Not to say that. I'm just saying a lot of people haven't heard of the Jersey Devil. So it's it's an obscurity one. Whoa! You're hitting the mic.
I hear that Jersey Devils like to eat people's dogs.
Okay.
Joey?
They would. I think if I remember correctly, he would actually take the dogs and eat them.
Yes.
Sounds like a Krampus thing.
Yeah, that's what he reminds me of.
He does remind me of Krampus.
A little bit.
Oh.
I feel like Wendigos have a more physical resemblance to Krampus, though, but that's just me.
Yeah, Wendigos definitely look more like Krampus, but the Jersey Devil just has sounds.
Jersey Devil acts more like Krampus.
That's what it is.
While the Wendigo looks more like him.
Honestly,
So what
when I
if-
thought of Wendigo, I
What
thought
if-
of a Slender Man.
We're not talking about Slender Man.
No.
Some other time we will, but
Good.
that Jersey Devil is such a. I think once you get into cryptids, it's a very iconic creature because it has its very own look, and it's something once you see how it looks, you never forget it, and once you hear its backstory, you never forget it. You know,
No, you don't.
it's really
Like Seed Eater.
yeah, it's a quite an experience thing to learn about the Jersey Devil, and like I said, it's like a bike. Once you learn about the Jersey Devil, you'll never forget about the Jersey Devil. Freddy, don't forget about the Jersey Devil.
It's a hockey team, too.
Yeah, it is.
It's a rapper too.
Every time. All right. We said our thoughts on the Jersey Devil. Now, what about the Goat Man?
The Goat Man.
The Goat Man, a human on top with a goat bottom. They look like that.
Bah.
Narnia.
Wait, what are they?
Yeah, those are,
It's also the one villain from Hercules.
Not a villain.
Yes, it's the villain from Hercules who takes Megan when Hercules is trying to save her. It's the big buff.
You're talking about the guy who was played by Danny DeVito?
No.
those have,
He's the same creature as Danny DeVito's the one that has the bottom and the human top. whichever got the name of too.
Oh, yeah, that's not who I'm talking about, but yeah, I just remember that one.
Okay, good. You can't forget about good old Danny DeVito.
No, this one.
Did you see my picture?
A horse bottom. So
Yeah,
that's a centaur.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Centaur, everybody.
Those have an actual.
Unfortunately, I did not actually think about that one coming up to it. What about?
Did you get my picture?
I didn't get. I did, but
yes,
I didn't
it's
check.
an amazing picture.
Let me check real quick, because I can't see.
It was the first thing that came up.
Oh yeah, the Jersey Devil, or is that the Goat Man? The Goat.
No. That's the goat man.
That's the Goat Man. Yeah. What about? Okay, now I want to bring up a creature that Rhymes has brought to my attention that I haven't heard of before talking about this list is the Spring-tailed Jack.
Oh, you've never heard of it?
I've never heard about it, but it's an interesting one. It's a creature, I believe, that originates from Britain, and it's a demon. It's literally just a demon, I believe they said, that has red glowing eyes like the Mothman, and just large claws that rip into you. And,
So two of my friends are coming over and we're watching a movie. Okay.
it's a really interesting creature, I think. You just see the pictures of it, too. It looks like a human with wings and everything. But,
yeah.
I mean, not to say much about it, but the Spring Hill Jack, you guys should really check it out. I think it's a pretty interesting creature. I can't say much about it. Do I believe it exists now? No, because the sightings are very old. Probably dead. If anything, it was existing.
Yeah.
How about... Okay. Now, this one's a under-talked about cryptid that is very popular. The Chupacabra. A lot of
Chupacabra.
people, well, one, don't think it's actually a cryptid. They think it's just a mangy coyote.
Mhm.
I believe them. I believe it's really just a mangy coyote. But they say it's a blood-sucking dog-like creature that attacks goats and sheeps, and you gotta stop that. And it's one of the, I think it's an underappreciated one, but like I said, there is mostly a reason behind their existence, and that's kind of what brings it to a little bit of a sad status of being a cryptid.
Some of them look like reptile creatures, but
Yeah, I've heard that one too, but I believe the mangy coyote is more likely.
maybe in India. I don't know.
I think I've heard. Hey, let's get into the one creature that I kind of dismiss as a cryptid.
Because it's not.
Not it. Technically, any unknown creature, if we know they exist, don't know if they actually exist right now, is a cryptid. Like, here's actually a cryptid. The cryptozoology group claim as a cryptid, and it's literally panthers that live in the Appalachian Mountains. Mountain lions.
Panthers.
They don't believe. Science says mountain lions don't live in the Blue Ridge the Appalachian Mountains. Cryptozoologists say otherwise, because there has been sightings of mountain lions in the mountains. And cryptids also are once previously thought to be extinct creatures. They are also called cryptids if there has been sightings past their so-called extinction points. If we don't believe they are real now, they are cryptids. That brings us to our topic now. The megalodon. A very large shark.
A shark that's been around since the dinosaurs, to be exact.
Yes. And, well, look, could he still exist today? I don't know.
Possible. I don't know.
I don't think he does. If he did, I think it would be a hard life for him.
Yeah, I mean,
A hard, sad
he's gonna
life
need.
for the megalodon, because I don't believe any more than one could exist without being spotted.
Yeah.
megalodons need a lot of space, and I frankly don't think our ocean is big enough anymore for a big guy like the Meg.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And Sea of
Yeah.
Thieves, sure, but not in the real world. Fortunately, I mean there have been plenty of sightings of megalodons, I'm sure, but then again, could be fakes, could be larger great whites, because you know how they say there's always a bigger fish, and they're right. But then again, I'd like to think that the great whites are evolved megalodons. If they evolved to, you know, be smaller, so they could spiral on the spook.
I believe the smaller version of a megalodon would probably just be considered a great white shark.
Yeah. The skeletal structure is basically just minimized from each other.
We went to the megalodon. Does the megalodon exist? Most likely not.
9.
Most likely not. Most likely not.
9.
What about?
Well, it
Well,
does, but actually it doesn't.
Yeah. Yes, but no. What about the other second most popular creature to exist out there that is unknown? The good old Loch Ness monster, also known as Nessie.
Meh.
I
Does Nessie exist?
don't.
Probably
I
not a
don't
Loch
think
Ness.
Nessie exists. Oh, not a Loch Ness. A Paleosaurus?
Paleosaurus, yes, I believe. Anything, that's what Nessie is. But do I think Nessie belongs in the loch? No. No. Yeah. I don't think the loch has enough food for Nessie.
No. Not
Especially
anymore.
in that river, I feel like it'd be too small.
Yeah, the river to connect it to the...
I feel like it would have to be like in the sea or something like that. Or I feel like
Really?
you'd find it like near Australia or something like that.
Hey, there's a lot of weird things in Australia, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'd be like the place.
I mean,
The
yeah,
Great Barrier Reef.
Australia does own a lot of weird things.
Because a lot of that stuff is still like unexplored and stuff. They don't know much about it.
That's right. Nessie is kind of a good topic because that opens the door for other sea monsters like giant sea eels and snakes and things like that, which
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, there's plenty of footage like that I'm seeing here of like this giant ice snake, whatever this is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think that is just like what frozen together, kind of.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that's a sea serpent. You know, how about we talk about another sea-dwelling creature besides a sea serpent? Let's get into that now. Actually, just so we can get it past that. Sea serpents, do they exist?
No.
I mean,
Uh,
like
maybe.
snakes in the sea do
It's
exist,
possible.
there are saltwater snakes, but I
Then
don't
again,
think
like-
a large one.
Exist. I don't think a large one exists, no.
how long ago were the Vikings around? Could be possible.
1300s?
Maybe sea serpents were at 1300s. It could be possible that sea serpents of that size could have existed.
Maybe.
We don't know. The Vikings killed them all, bastards.
Because that's what the Vikings do. How about...
Yeah, man.
What about another one? The mermaid.
Mermaids. That's a tough one.
I don't know. I don't think they exist.
Is it possible that humans could have evolved half fish bodies and
Probably.
breathe underwater?
Probably.
That's possible.
Possibly.
It's possible, but
Probable.
too fantasy.
It's fantasies.
Honestly,
Hey,
this is one
I
of
mean,
the ones that,
there have been like fake mermaids that like the Fiji mermaid, which was like a. I think that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, it was a monkey
Yeah.
attached to the the body of a fish.
Honestly, with the science being behind like that, only like if I remember correctly, like 9% of our oceans have been explored or something like that. I honestly think that they could be out there. Cause I mean, like the one fish that has a light on the top of its head.
Doggerfish.
Yeah,
I think
like
that's what it's called. Yeah, it exists.
Yeah, like how did it evolve to get a light on top of its head? That's just like
Oh
Anglerfish?
wait. Yeah. I was just, you know what? I was thinking of Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
You know, the little
like
fish.
if I'm just saying, like
If that thing exists.
yeah,
Anything
like
could
if that
exist.
thing exists, then why can't mermaids exist?
I'd be more afraid of that thing than a shark, honestly.
Yeah. Jinx. I got it.
Stop it.
I mean, a shark doesn't look creepy. That would look creepy.
Oh, it's pitch black.
It is creepy.
It is pitch black.
Yeah.
What about something like giants? Mythical ones.
Oh.
I mean, Joey's pretty tall right there, so.
Giant. Like you're giant.
We
I
want
mean,
to talk.
Joey towers over me.
We want to
Yeah,
talk
Joey is a
about.
giant.
I am a giant. Oh my gosh, we exist.
No,
You should.
If you want to talk about that
Wait.
mythical giant,
I gotta find a picture.
we got Shaq.
Shaq is.
Shaq is a giant.
What about you seen like the world's tallest person?
Oh yeah, he's like 10 foot.
I thought he was like I think he's tall. Whatever he is.
I think he might be like 8 at most. I don't remember.
Big Shaq. Men's don't hold.
He is Robert Waddle.
Robert Wadlow.
And he was
He's
8
feet, 8
11.
11 inches tall. Yeah.
I was close. I said 10 foot, and then I said 8 foot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You did. Okay. How do you feel about yourself? All right. We're actually getting pretty close to what I listed here today. What about fairies?
Fairies? I think fairies are kind of too
Mythical?
fancy. Yeah.
You know what? To be honest, I think like Disney invented them. It probably did.
Walt Disney is a cryptid.
Walt Disney's
Yes.
a cryptid,
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah.
His frozen
He's
head.
a creepy man.
No, he was actually cremated. His head was it first?
All right.
The only way
His head was like this.
the only way that I could see fairies existing logically is that there is a flower that when it dies, it looks like a tiny little skull. But that is the only logical thing that I can think of for fairies. Because, like, fairies live in flowers, according to Tinkerbell. And it's just, like, they form a skull when they die.
Yeah, they do.
Speaking of tiny skulls, what about giant skulls?
Damn.
Giants in general.
Now, I think I've heard of, like, evidence of, like, look, hey, let's go back into actual history. Giants existed.
Yes.
There is fossil evidence of giants existing. Do they exist now?
Where's your
I
cards
mean,
against
like,
me?
yeah, you got, like,
I don't know. You had a last.
giant people with the giant, like, gene. Yes, I do exist. I'm not that tall, everybody. I think they're making it out like
Yeah,
I'm,
yes.
like, gigantically tall.
Yes.
I'm not that
Look at that picture. Look at that picture.
Joey is approximately
Look at that
about
picture.
anywhere between 6'2" and 6'4".
He's probably like 6'8".
I am 6'2". I always say I'm 6'2". So I'm not tall, people. I'm not.
I'm
like a
5
giant.
foot
Yeah.
11.
I'm
What?
5'8".
Dang it, I'm the shortest.
You're not short at all. I'm short. I'm 5'11", 8.
I'm 5'7". I'm
So?
Freddy,
average.
you're not 5'7".
Yes, I am. What do you think I am?
Deja taller than you.
I am.
You're taller.
I don't stand up straight,
Yes.
okay?
How tall are you,
Do you
I'm
Deja?
not
5'7".
remember when we duct taped my phone to the ceiling fan and did sheesh to Halo?
Yeah, I guess that is it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Freddy.
I'm just, I don't know. It overshadowed. You all get overshadowed by me, where it basically almost scrapes my head.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to one more creature before we basically
The
start
giant-
rambling on.
The giant, we have...
because we're good friends and we talk a lot. We're talking about dragons.
Yes, they did exist.
They did exist.
They did exist.
Do you think they could possibly exist now?
Honestly, with how
Vikings killed them all.
evolution went, I'd say we do still have dragons among us, but they are formerly known as ostriches.
I believe that.
I love
Because
that theory.
you gotta think. You have to think. For the dinosaurs, for the dinosaurs, they had their little arms, right?
Yeah.
For ostriches, the skeleton of an ostrich has their tiny arms like back in their wings.
Yes.
So that means dragons would have tiny arms in their wings, just like an ostrich does. So
All
therefore,
right,
dragons did exist.
All right. I didn't think about that.
Skeletal proof.
So, yeah.
You did it, Deja. You did it. Everybody,
I
dragons
think-
exist. And look at
Then how come-
that, everybody. We covered 17 monsters, cryptids, and whether they exist or not, everybody. We did this. We did the unimaginable. Can I get a round of applause from everybody else besides Crimes over here?
Boo.
Yes, that's the spirit, everybody.
Oh
Okay. Look, everybody. So we're gonna end the podcast
play, bro.
here. I want to say
For you.
next time
Oh.
we do a cryptid
Trevor.
podcast
I was the guy you're
with
feeding shit to.
Dive
Oh, yeah.
episode,
Every now and then,
I
it's
think
a
our
thing or
next
something like that.
episode will probably be something interesting. I have an idea, and I would love to get it out. Stay tuned. And I have